You ever meet someone so entitled you actually look around for hidden cameras? Listen to this. Let me tell you about the time a wild Karen tried to steal my custom e-bike in broad daylight, claimed it was taxpayer property, and ended up getting a masterclass in instant karma. So, I build electric bikes. It's my hobby. I'm talking about a $15,000 carbon fiber beast that I built from scratch in my garage. It's got a custom motor and a biometric lock system. Last Saturday, I take it to the park. I'm just sitting on a bench, drinking my coffee. The bike is resting on its kickstand right next to my leg. Enter Karen. Short haircut, massive fake designer shades, and expensive yoga pants. She's dragging her kid, who's just glued to a tablet. She spots my bike, stops dead, and without even looking at me, points at it. "Look, Braden, the city finally brought those free premium community bikes. Go ahead, sweetie, get on." I literally laughed out loud. I thought it was a joke. I stood up and said, "Hey, excuse me, that's my private bike. Don't touch it." She finally looks at me, rolls her eyes, and waves her hand like I'm a peasant. Excuse me? There's no brand name on it. It's obviously a public utility for the community. We are taking our turn." "It doesn't have a brand because I built it myself," I told her. "It's worth 15 grand. Back away from the bike." Guys, she didn't back off. She puts her hands on her hips and drops the absolute dumbest logic I have ever heard. "Listen here, you brought it into a public park. My taxes pay for this park. That means anything left out here is communal property. My son deserves to ride this more than you do, you selfish tech bro." I told her to leave before I called the cops. But guess what? She beat me to it. She whips out her phone, dials 911, and turns into a Hollywood actress. "Help! Police! There's a hostile man in the park trying to steal a public bike from my child. I feel threatened." She hangs up and gives me this evil little smirk, like, "Gotcha." I didn't say a word. I just sat back down and drank my coffee. 10 minutes later, 2 cops roll up. Karen sprints over to them, pointing at me like I'm a fugitive. "Officers, that guy is trying to take the community bike. Arrest him." The cops look at me. One cop says, "Sir, is this your property?" Before I can even open my mouth, Karen interrupts. Now here is where it gets incredibly good. Karen decides she's going to prove it's a public bike. "I'll prove it," she yells. Before the cops can stop her, she grabs the handlebars, kicks up the stand, and jumps on it to speed off. But here's what Karen didn't know. My bike has a custom anti-theft system. If you try to roll it without scanning my thumbprint, the front wheel electronically locks up solid, instantly. So, Karen pushes off with all her weight. She wants to make a grand exit. The bike moves exactly 2 inches. The front wheel locks with a loud clack. The momentum throws her completely over the handlebars. Wham! She face plants right into a patch of soft, wet mud left over from the sprinklers. Her massive sunglasses fly into the bushes. Her iced smoothie explodes all over her expensive yoga pants. It was the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. The whole park went dead silent, and then people just started laughing. The cops walk over to her. She's sitting in the mud, covered in green sludge, looking like a swamp monster. She starts screaming that I set a trap to hurt her. I just pull out my phone, tap the screen, and the bike's digital display lights up. Prov Alex scrolls across the screen. The cops just shake their heads. They pull her up, slap the cuffs on her muddy wrists, and tell her she's being detained for attempted theft and filing a false police report. But wait, it gets better. They had to call her husband to pick up the kid. 20 minutes later, this poor, exhausted guy shows up in a minivan. He takes one look at his wife, in handcuffs, covered in mud, screaming, and he just sighs. He actually walked over to me, handed me a $50 bill for the trouble, and said, "Man, I am so sorry. She's always like this. I can't even take her to Target anymore." He didn't even try to defend her. He just took the kid, got in the van, and drove off. Karen got a ride in the back of a squad car, a ruined outfit, and a massive legal bill. All because she thought she was entitled to my hard work. The lesson here? Keep your hands off other people's stuff. Have you ever seen someone's ego destroy them instantly like this? Tell me your best stories in the comments. Hit subscribe, or Karen's gonna demand your manager. See you in the next one.